So here's a little contraption that I made for bulk processing items and crafting them. These two little lanes, this is for returning items, this is for items that are going through the rest of the crafters because this thing is tileable. Basically, you just set up this little, is that like 3 wide section, and you just place them end by end by end by end with water streams going through here, and then back up through here. Let's make a little circuit so you can process items through. This uses the crafter and uses three hopper lines into the crafter for 3 hopper lines per crafter. The comparator reads it through the block and reads the crafter. So let's say if there is 9 things in the crafter, it activates and then outputs it to this little barrel down here, which you can grab a hopper line out of. And what I usually do is, because you'll have output, you'll have like 9 times less output, you just run like an entire hopper line and just connect all the lines. Come on. Just connect them all like end to end until you get eventually to the output, because you're not going to have a lot of traffic through here because it only goes at a set speed. Actually, I'll just show it off then. So the reason why I have the hopper minecarts is so that it drains the items from here really quickly. And this is about as far as I can get it, because then putting back in the items in here goes pretty slow because the hopper has to draw them out. So this thing will fill up, so it adds a buffer of another 5 stacks, and then you can fill the top one up again. So I'm going to fill up all of these, and I'll show you about how fast it is. Every time this turns to a 1, it's tick through another item. What I can also do is I can grab a note block and just put a note block right here. And every time that thing dings, something's come out on the bottom. So it's pretty fast, but it's not super fast. The reason why I have 3 to 1. If I could put more in easily, I'd do that. It's relatively simple to make and completely tileable. So you just have like another 2 hoppers right here, and you place this thing down here, down below here. I'll make a tutorial for it maybe later. Gotta make sure that it's reading a crafter or any other type of storage block with a signal strength of 6, because if it's not 6, it won't work properly. Like I can just show you. Do that, it stops working, because this starts filling up further, and once this thing starts filling up multiples, it'll completely break and it won't be able to start back up again. So if I do this, you can see it starts right back up. Put this thing in right here so it's nice and easy and compact. And then you gotta make sure this comparator right here is in subtraction mode. Otherwise it will not work in the slightest. You just arc this back over here, and I love the fact that you can read through blocks, because it allows me to power it right here, so I don't actually end up powering these hoppers. Because like if I was powering on top of the crafter, let's say, I put a bunch of things in there, you can see, wait a second, it would lock the hopper, and since it's locking the hopper, then every single time it pulses, you lose like a 20th of a pulse, and it's super annoying. And there we go. It's down to, I believe, only 1 hopper line. So that's why it's slowed down. If all 3 of these aren't running, it moves literally 3 times slower. So that's a little annoying, but it'd take a way bigger circuit for me to fix that. And here, you make sure that's right there and that's right there. See this nice 3 to 1 circuit thing set up. I like doing it like this, and then, like this. And then you do there, because you need to replace them afterwards all the time. I hate rails. So make sure they're all like that. You can delete these 3. Place these in here. That's just a lost cause. Then I have to do this, and then break the crafter slightly, depending on what it does. Nope, didn't break it. Interesting. That doesn't usually happen. I mean, realistically, these things work relatively well anyway. You just have a block on the other end. So it's easier if you just do them like this. Oh, come on. You break these three. Place blocks here and there. You can place basically any block here. It just needs to be something of substance. Place 3 hopper minecarts there. The reason why I don't like having 4 blocks here is because they get noisy. The noise is ever so slightly annoying. What you can do to stop that is place, like, what do you think? These would work fine. Place some of these right here, because otherwise they start migrating. And boom. Stop making noise, and they'll still pick up hopper. They'll still pick up inputs. Gotta make sure these are facing down so they actually add to the speed of the pulling, because they're pushing back into the hopper minecarts. Gotta make sure this is blue, and this, I don't think you solely need honey, but it's the most reliable. You can also probably replace this with tiles just as long, with walls, just as long as the front couple align it properly. So what the honey does is it aligns the blocks so that it's traveling on the blue ice, but also slightly on the hopper. So it moves like it's on the blue ice, so it moves super fast and super fluidly. And you can get over little gaps where you need to make little gaps for water to, like, restarting the water flow. But it also can get picked up by the hoppers, and the hopper minecarts through that. Other than that, you need to make sure you have the wall there and there, just because it looks nice. And this one so that the water doesn't fall out. Blue ice on top to make it speedy going back. You don't really need this, but it just makes it more reliable. Make sure to have the honey here, because remember the blocks, not honey, but just something that's not a full block here. Because you gotta remember that the items, when they're coming up back, they're still going to be traveling along this little border right here. So, put it right there. See that unless you line it up perfectly, it doesn't work properly. I'll show you later or something. You probably know how to do this. You can probably use something other than the walls, the tile walls. But I just like using honey blocks because it's reliable. And it's easier to reset and easier to transition to, and they also sound more funny, which is a plus. So anyway, that's about it. Other than that, you can probably, after you've placed those down, you might be able to replace them. It's just so they stop making weird noises. You can also just do these completely, like you can move the blue ice down to right here if you don't want this buffer, but this buffer right here adds 5 stacks to the overflow capacity. So when you have a massive amount of items going through you, what this thing relies on is just being able to have like a stupidly large storage capacity. And because of that, it can accept like a super massive quantity of items. So what you do is you build maybe 10 of these and then loop it back around. So when you loop it back around, I'll build this out a little bit. You loop back around, make sure when it's looping up, you also have some of the honey blocks right there, because otherwise it'll just do weird things and then get call on stuff and not be happy at all. You don't actually need to have a bubble column in here. And because of that, you can just focus on the water like that, and then you can let the top flow over. On the back over here, you just need to have a backboard. And then your input should be around here, like this, so that when it's flowing in, you see the water goes like that. It causes items to get thrown against the wall. And and then they get picked up and move fast. See, it starts working again. This is just having iron blocks right here because it makes it fall smooth, and also for more continuity's sake. If I just add a bunch of stacks of redstone, eventually you'll see it's going to take a little bit because this is actually pretty good at absorbing lots of items. You can see, even with that amount, it's still not doing anything. You also got to make sure that you put in something to block the water from coming back right here. So I usually use trapdoors because I'm weird like that. This is a little now. This would be fine because of the momentum, actually. So for redstone, you can press Control and middle click, and you can get barrel with MBT data on it, so that when I do this, oh, that's wrong, when I do this, it spews out a bunch of redstone. I just killed all the minecarts. My bad. You can just place that there, make sure to block it up nicely. Do that, and then boom, you can stress test it. So because the items flow up slowly in water, you can see it slowly flow up, and then they move along the wall, because they are halfway along this wall right here. You can see that they're slightly clipping into the honey blocks when they fall slot. If they're doing that on the way back, you know it's perfect. And that's about what it is. You just keep on making these forever. If you don't want to keep making minecarts, just don't. As I said before, you gotta make sure it's going down. That's one thing. And make sure it's not containing random items. Barrel there, barrel there, and then you just keep the flow in the line there, and because both of these are making something, they'll come in through this barrel right here, and this barrel right here, go through the line of hoppers, and on the final barrel. This should work almost like indefinitely, because having an entire shulker box of whatever item you're finding, such as melons, sauces to melons, is kind of insane, and the output of these machines isn't fast enough for that to really matter over the long term. If you are concerned about it, you can also just add more buffer chests. You can make a double chest right here, and put this in. And if you want to make it look better, you can also fill up these corners right here with glass or whatever see-through block you want. It looks nice and clean. Oh yeah, also another thing, I would suggest blocking off the top. Just because if you have a fall on it, you don't want to just absorb a million items at once. That wouldn't be very fun. And just difficulty with having these like this is that it's going to be annoying, because some items can and will get stuck there. I feel like it. But in the actual build, what you can do is you can just, you can overshoot it a little bit, so like, what I can do if that happens, you probably know the stuff, so I'm going to put that out. So as you can tell, they just go around in circles. Flamboyant time. These guys get full really quickly, but because that's 10 stacks of items, that would be almost a stack of melon blocks. A stack of melon blocks doesn't come out very quickly. As you can see, it's twice the rate of one of these things. Another thing you can do is you can have like a like a powder bowl right here. And they toggle whenever they craft something, so it looks kind of nice. If you're annoyed with this thing, if you keep getting them despawning or something like that because of how far they have to go, you can also add a bubble column Or even, like, what you could even do is you could even, I don't know how easy this would be, but you could probably add another layer of hoppers. So you'd probably just add like a hopper line out right here, and then make another one of these things, another one of the crafters right there. You see they collected there too. If the glass is too much, you can also probably use normal blocks, but only use glass for the spots where there's no water, because that'll help you massively. And that's about it. Hope this helps. Got any questions? Just bully me relentlessly in the comments, and I can probably answer.